episode. But I think the conversation that's always going to be the most fascinating, because it's the most important position on the field, is the quarterback. So
yeah, you left off Archie Manning.
He's not coming out till next year.
No, I know. But, I mean, there were pictures of Les Snead and him hanging out, circulating online. I more of a joke, but it is funny that is potentially on the radar.
The connections at Texas are strong. So Les Snead's stepson, Tate Haver, is one of the long snappers. It's actually the son of his wife. It's a new relationship that he married into. So it's a stepson of his. He's in Texas. Sean McVay and Sark are really, really close friends. So you're going to see a lot of Texas players on that list, and then a couple of them we're going to preview in this episode. But even Quinn Ewers, who I don't think a lot of people are all that high on, but he's a guy that they met with, I think, at their convenience. So Jaxson Dart, I just saw Shedeur Sanders get mock drafted in one of the CBS mocks recently at 26 to the Rams. That to me would be a more exciting draft pick. But I think there's a lot to like about Jaxson Dart. I think a lot of his success has been scheme dependent. So he was with Lane Kiffin. Before he was with Lane Kiffin, he was with Lincoln Riley at USC. He decided to leave USC because Lincoln Riley brought in Caleb Williams. So he has thrived at Ole Miss. He's a natural athlete, solid mobility. He's really, really light on his feet. He's good at slipping sacks. He's got a quick release. But he's got a lot of the intangibles that I think a quarterback needs. He was a baseball player back in high school, two-time All-State baseball player. So he's got some of those like natural athletic fundamentals to be able to kind of, maneuver in the pocket and change arm angles, those kind of things. He tends to be a back foot thrower at times. I think the reads are kind of what concerns me, just being able to really kind of develop through his progressions as a natural passer. I don't see that him scanning the field, like just being able to kind of be a coach's kid and go through your progressions, go through your first and second read and hit one of those open guys, I think is really kind of what his bread and butter is. I think he's best fit in a shotgun-based system. Very, very limited under center, just 8 snaps in 2 seasons. And he's got a high play action reliance. So those things scare me a little bit. But I think that the relationship with, talented kid recruited by USC at Ole Miss, who had a really good season this past year. But I think in comparison to like a Jalen Milroe or a Shedeur Sanders, I think people want more of that dual threat type of quarterback. And I don't know. Dart is
That's exactly what I was going to say. Sanders is a little less exciting to me if they were to bring him in, just based purely on the fact that he is, not exactly the super athletic guy. I mean, he's more of like the kind of kid that will, make the throw and take the hit as opposed to like, avoiding the pressure. And they have talked so much in length, particularly Snead, about how when you have a guy with legs and they can extend the play and keep the drive alive, that means so much more. It's so difficult to plan for a quarterback like that with like somebody that's like Jalen Hurts that isn't really in that top echelon, but has that ability to extend the play and keep it going. Somebody like that under the McVay scheme could be, we haven't really seen it, could be huge, which is why the Jaxson Dart is a little exciting. I just don't want that. Like, to me, that's more of a pick for the future. You're thinking about further down the road, and when you just got Stafford for another year, and hopefully you get him for another year after that. I want them to mainly be like bring in the most talented person in that 26 spot left available. Use him on your roster, and because if you draft Dart, he's not going to play unless gets hurt. You
wouldn't play for a couple of years. You're totally right. Jimmy G's on a 1-year deal. Obviously, Stetson Bennett's still on the roster. I would be more excited if somebody like Jalen Milroe was available in the 3rd round and you were able to invest that type of capital on a quarterback versus going all in at 26. It just feels like, and I like the approach of best player available, but I'd rather have somebody that runs a 4.38 to be able to see what he would do, like a Jalen Milroe in Sean McVay's system, while you can let him develop as a passer under Matthew Stafford, under Jimmy Garoppolo. So it's definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah. I would be more shocked. I mean, the fact that you showed the odds, and I was just like, they have no idea where they're going. Yeah. Like they have zero idea. The fact that they have quarterback at like plus 750. It's not like the Rams are really giving anything away. So hopefully it's just a something that keeps us excited. I think the simplest thing for them to do would just be like an offensive tackle and just move on with
And there's a couple of guys that would be like the safest and future protecting pick. And also, like, you alleviate some pressure on Matthew Stafford to be able to have legitimate depth. I feel like they couldn't play football when Rob Havenstein wasn't on the field last year. So, like, I would like some insurance for Havenstein, who
it did feel that way. There was like that Miami game. You're just like, what are we watching?
Exactly. So, like, you could definitely get there.